is Peanut. I am a fashion reseller on the Poshmark and eBay app, and I primarily get the majority of my sales on Poshmark. And I typically get about 2 to 5 a day depending on the day of the week and how active I am on Poshmark. But I generally like to share my closet every 2 hours, and I like to community share about 2,000 items. That is a lot, but I do notice an increase of traffic to my closet with the likes and purchases and the sharing of my closet as well. So I'll show you on my laptop how I typically do this. Okay, so just bear with me. I don't know how to do the window sharing screen yet. I have to watch a YouTube video, but typically what I like to do is share items from my closet every 2 hours, and I am currently at 115,189, and I typically share a lot, so my numbers have increased a lot since I started in September, and that's my stats for sharing. But I like to organize my closet based off on categories so that when it's parties, it's easier to share to the parties. So with this video, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom of my items, and I have roughly 480 active items, and I do share all 480 items. Scrolling. But I'm a little OCD with my closet, so you don't have to do this, but I do this to keep myself organized. Again, it makes it sharing to the party much easier. But I'm going to go to the bottom of my closet right before where it's sewed. So my shoes are the next category, and I just share to my followers. Now typically I do this on my phone because I don't have access to my laptop all the time. It is faster on a computer, but I don't have access to it. So majority of the time it is done on my phone, but you click the square share button, click to my followers, and that's how you do it every 2 hours. Now, how I like to community share. Community share is very important. I know a lot of people doesn't say that I've watched videos of say that do not do community shares, it doesn't get you sales, but I believe that it gets you sales because the Poshmark app was created to be a social app where you can socialize and be active in the community, and one of the features is community shares, and community shares will get you sales. I typically like to do 1,000 to 2,000 community shares a day. It is quite a lot, but you just only need like an hour in the day to do it, and you can hit those numbers off right away. And it does increase your traffic a lot to your closet. It has people sharing your closet, it has people liking, it has people following, and that's the majority thing is eventually you will get sales from it. So what I like to do is go onto my news feed, and I like to community share anyone that shared my closet. So typically if they shared 1 item, I share 4. And then if they're like a bigger, for example, this one right here, I've shared her items multiple times. She has shared my items multiple times, but she is a mass sharer, and she has a huge following group. So I typically like to share more of her items. So I would do about probably 20. But for this video's sake, we're just going to do 4. And then I typically like to share people who've shared my closet for the last 30 minutes. Because I'm usually pretty active throughout the day. And if I'm not I'm not going to go further than 30 minutes because I don't know how busy I might have been. So just for this video's sake, we're just going to do those 3 community shares. And then what else I like to do is I like to share from the feed. Now, the feed is important because some people just shop by the feed and they don't search for the listing. So I will go through and typically share about 50 items from the feed every day, which, you know, is always good. And what this does too, when you're sharing from the feed, is you're getting new people that, to your closet, people that may not have never shared from your closet personally, or people that are not following your closet, and that generally increases people that follows you and increases your shares, of course. Again, for video's sake, I'm only going to do a couple shares. And then what I like to do is I have people who I typically like to share every day. So Leah and May. Now, she is a YouTuber and she's been doing Poshmark for a while, and her shares are crazy, her followers are crazy. So I like to personally share from her closet as well. And anybody that I know that has a big follower or have a big sharing, I tend to share their items, and I would share about 20 items from their closet in the hopes that they share my items. Now, I have had a couple of my items shared by this closet before, so I'm hoping that this pays off and that she shares some of my closet. Now, if you don't know her, she does have a YouTube channel and she's very knowledgeable in Poshmark. That's kind of where I kind of video binged a lot of my videos when I first learned how to Poshmark. And then what else I like to do is I like to go into big followers, big sharers, to see what they share, and I like to share their item as well, because sometimes, well, not sometimes, majority of the time that I've noticed is that they will share people that has items from the closets with larger followers that I've never heard of before, or that I have followed, but because I don't get onto the computer on the correct time, I don't see their items, so I can't share their items. So I like to do this as well, and it definitely does increase traffic to your closet. So after you do that, so I'm just going to show you a bit of what I like to do. And then next is Empty Hanger, and everybody knows who Empty Hanger is, I think. She is very big on YouTube and on Poshmark. So same thing, I like to go in, I like to share some of her items. Again, usually 20 or more, but for this video, I'm not going to do that much. And then I go to her shares, and I share some of her shares. Now, those are not for sale, so the closet was probably closed for vacation, but I'm still going to share anyways. And then I check my news feed, and if there's anyone new, I like to catch up and share their feed too. Otherwise, it takes a while to catch up. So that's what I typically do for my community shares, and I do notice an increase of my sales just from doing this. And no, I'm not a robot. Alrighty, so that's how I typically community share my closet and share my personal items. Again, both sharing technique is equally important. Self-sharing definitely gets your items into the your category, that items category, as a newer item. It brings it back to the top of the item closet. But Poshmark community sharing gets your items out to more people, and that's potential customers that will buy your items. So both are equally important, and I do suggest that you do take the time of the day to make sure you're doing a lot of self-shares, because the more you do that, the more your items will be refreshed as a new item, and the more traffic you will have to your closet. But community share is equally important. It brings a lot of traffic to your closet, and you never know who's following, who's sharing your items. It might be a bigger closet with bigger followers, and that those followers can potentially buy your items. Now, I don't know the exact details of if this is the reason why I'm getting sales or not, but I do feel that it does increase the traffic to my closet. And I typically, again, get 2 to 5 sales from Poshmark every day, and the price varies, but I'm always meeting or getting very close to my net profit of $100 a day. So it is a lot of work, but I typically do that in the morning right away. I just hit my following, like I hit my community shares like crazy in the morning. I do a little bit of the afternoon and a little bit of in the evening. And self-shares, again, I do every 2 hours. And yeah, that's how I share items in Poshmark and personal and community. Definitely make sure you do both and not just one, because you will notice a definite increase of traffic to your closet if you're doing both successfully. That's kind of it. I'm kind of rambling and I'm kind of repeating a lot of stuff. So definitely make sure you like and subscribe this video. Comment down below if this is helpful, so that I know that this is helping you out as well. Or if you have any other questions about things you want to learn on Poshmark, definitely comment below. Even though I've been doing this only for about 4 months, I do feel that I've learned a lot in the past 4 months, and I am definitely making a good chunk of change on Poshmark reselling. And I'm even gotten to the point where I'm not even like sourcing as much, because I've been getting a lot of donations to me, so the cost of good is $0 when it's to that point of my career in Poshmark and reselling. So I've been very excited. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this video, and I shall see you on my next video. Bye bye.